Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Sagittarius. If Sagittarius is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. Right. Knock, knock, knock. Let's see what these tea leaves have to say tonight. All right. And so, our card for this evening is the Four of Discs. And this has everything to do with power. There's a sense of assurance, being fortified, really kind of getting all of your things together and hunkered down. Okay. All right. Let's see, I want to start down here because this one. So, the first thing I kind of noticed here was a volcano going off. Okay, so we have the volcano, we have the smoke, and here we have somebody who is kind of down on their knees praying to that volcano. So, I feel like this is there's a real sense of unity of earth and fire. You are really in a place of power right now. Not necessarily, you know, sometimes we look at the volcano and we say, okay, this is like anger, gonna blow up, you know, kind of lose it. I don't think so. I think that this is like an enduring building of energies really kind of coming from that most primordial place. It takes time to cultivate this kind of power. And I think that you really spent your time, you know, finding that within yourself. This has not just come overnight. This is something you have been working on. You have, you know, diligently been doing that self-work, standing up for yourself, advocating for yourself, making tough decisions. Okay. And I feel like you are really coming into your, you know, your own, really. There's a lot of self-realization here. I think that you have a lot of clarity. You know exactly what you want. You are figuring out how you're going to do that. I feel that you are very much in, you are devoted to yourself, to this path. You are also in a place of openness to the universe. There are just, you know, blessings flowing your way, okay? And I think that, you know, this image of the person kind of praying to that volcano really symbolizes your real devotion to cultivating those internal elements, right? And not swaying from yourself. I think that for a long time, you let other people kind of decide what your life was going to be like, and that is no longer the case. You are doing things that you want to do. You are honoring your nature. You are honoring your will. And, you know, all of this, it creates an environment so that you have a lot of fortune, blessing, the opportunity to create, work, make money, resources, emotional resources, all of these things kind of align when this kind of power comes to be. Okay, now wanted to look at this one down here. So we have, it looks like a wolf right here, and here's the head. And it looks like it's kind of dragging this person along. Okay. And so I look at this and, you know, I think there's a sense of, that kind of wolf at your door. And I think that especially because we're in the Four of Discs energy, which you can see here is, it's like a fortress. The elements align. There is kind of that moat around this little fortress. And so it makes me believe that you are sticking close to home base, at least for this next cycle. And really kind of reserving yourself, your energies for your work, for your ability to replenish your resources, you know, maybe just literally your sleep, vitality, minimizing the stressors, just maybe really kind of worn out from socializing, being out in the world. The weather, I know everywhere has been pretty extreme. These things kind of wear on us as well. With the kind of wolf at the door, kind of banging it down, I feel like this is kind of like, you know, temptation to go out, maybe spend money, you know, get distracted from whatever is happening in your home, whatever is happening in your interior work, kind of that, you know, we start with good intention, we're hyper-focused, we're, you know, all about it, and then it's, you know, a few days go by, and it's like, well, maybe I should just go, you know, do this, maybe go have dinner, or maybe I need to run to the store, and you don't really need anything, but you just want to get out, and or whatever, you know, and usually that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think in this time you've made kind of this decision that you're going to stay the course and, you know, have resolve. And I think that it's, you know, really important that you honor that decision, especially because I see the wolf. I think that, you know, there's some kind of lingering energy, kind of a trickster energy, maybe a predatory energy. But I think that, you know, just kind of going against that impulse to indulge a little bit and just kind of, you know, stay in your own lane. The other thing I think, and this is, you know, kind of a theme running through the Sagittarius readings, and this is that you're really staying out of social gatherings, not getting involved with family stuff, mostly because you are avoiding anybody else's influences and dramas, okay, which seem like they have been kind of coming up lately. And so I think having this little reprieve from all of that, you know, is important because it gets you back into the headspace that you want to be in. And ultimately finding a lot of peace and power and keeping things really simple. Okay, just kind of boring. All right, so we also have, it looks like, the Scorpio here. Okay, so there's a Scorpio person probably in your life somewhere. I wonder if this is maybe the reason that you are sticking to the house. This might be somebody who is causing some chaos in your life, or at least just in a bad mood. You know, I love all the Scorpios out there, but you all can bring some kind of dark energy into the mix sometimes. And so, you know, it would not surprise me that this is kind of the person that you are avoiding a little bit. Just staying out of their mood, staying out of their kind of, they're a bit of pot stirrers, right? They like to start things and maybe not be too involved after the drama begins. So I don't think a bad decision at all. Okay. Well, and as I turn this, it looks like this becomes a house, okay? And then kind of on the very peak up here, we have a person that is kind of standing up there, and it looks like they're gazing at the stars. So I really do think that being home, being, you know, kind of ushered away from all of the stuff, it's almost like when you go away from the city and there's all the light pollution is far behind you, and you can finally look up and all of a sudden you realize there are a bazillion stars in the sky. It feels like you haven't seen it in so long. You can't even remember the last time you saw so many stars. And so I feel like this is not in like life where we get away from all the noise of people and their emotions and their thoughts and their opinions and actions and whatever. And we kind of shut it all off for a little while, and we can finally see clearly the beauty in our own lives. We are in awe of all of the greatness, all of the little blessings and things to be grateful for. And, you know, although it's hard to get out of that more social cycle and give ourselves a break, it really does kind of open up the world to us, especially the parts of the world that we are often too busy or too distracted to notice. Okay. And here we have a person who is sitting, and I see a heart with 2 wings. Okay. And so I feel like as you are taking this little break from life, or at least from, you know, life as it normally is, this is a good time to treat yourself to some kind of nostalgic joy. And I see that with the heart with the wings, because it is kind of a fleeting thing. Going back to your younger years, a more, again, simple time before you had so many responsibilities and so many life things have come to pass. Think about something that you really enjoyed. Maybe it was like making, you know, apple pie with your mom, or some kind of particular pop that you really liked. Maybe, you know, it was riding your bike, and when you're going down the hill, you take your feet off the pedals and you just kind of glide. Whatever it is, I think that you should find something that you really loved, that was so special to you. It does not have to be a big thing. Actually, it should be something small, okay? And indulge in that. Go find it, you know? Recreate that moment for yourself. And I think that this is a beautiful time to, you know, witness that feeling once again. Just be there for a moment. Right? We don't want to linger too long, because then it turns it into something different. But I think, yes, definitely indulging in those little moments of wonder and beauty and joy that are so pure, because, you know, we were young. We were kind of less cynical about life. Okay, now I wanted to look at this one. I'm just trying to see. So we have a person here, and it looks like they're kind of walking this line of the metaphysical. I'm looking at them and I'm thinking, the first thing that really comes to mind here is that I really feel like you are just, I feel like when you start to feel, is it trapped? I don't know. When these things are going on in your life, they're uncomfortable. The people talking, people saying snide things, people, you know, not being careful with your feelings, so on. You take yourself away from that. And then as you kind of detox from all of that energy, you're in a better place, right? But then you start to get restless. You start to really kind of become, you know, you start to think about more existential things. You might start to feel lonely, you know, not knowing what to do with yourself. So then when this comes up, I think it's important to really focus on your routine, okay? Keep your head down, right? Keep things very simple. You know, just do the things that maybe you do them all the time anyways, but if not, maybe creating a simple routine for yourself or a more involved routine. Adding some cleaning things. I know cleaning is not fun. It's not like, you know, I wouldn't say that it's something that we look forward to, but I do think it gives you a sense of power. Okay, and consistency, and you know pretty much how it's gonna go. Also, when you feel like you're kind of dragging or you're getting melancholy or whatever, I myself feel so much better when I have conquered, you know, a few minor goals every day. I feel like there's some kind of progress in life, even if it is, you know, ultimately meaningless. I do think that, and maybe this is kind of the secret stoic in me, but I do think there's a lot of meaning and blessings in going about the tedium and mundane things, these little tasks. So, you know, just trying to set like a sleep schedule for yourself, rising, doing your, you know, whatever you do. If you go to work, if you're retired, whatever, do your morning stuff. You know, add like 1 or 2 things to your day where maybe you're going to wash one wall in your house. You know, maybe you're going to declutter one drawer. Maybe you're going to go outside and pull some weeds, you know, whatever it is. It doesn't have to take up your whole day. It doesn't have to be anything huge, just a little bit here and there. And if you can add 1, 2, 3 tasks a day, you know, if you have the time, of course, this really adds up. I mean, it really does. And, you know, I don't think it's the cure to anything, but I do think that it does make you feel more capable. Anyways, for me, it did. I feel like I got a lot more self-confidence when you know, I never was really taught how to clean or pay my bills or, you know, a lot of different things. My parents died young. I was raised after that by people who were wonderful, but we parted ways when I was young, you know, and I never really was taught these basic life skills. And I had to learn them myself very slowly. And, but I do think in that process, I found a lot of power in being able to do things myself, in at least accomplishing minor things. I found a lot of joy in that because I wasn't, you know, I didn't know how to do anything. So for me, everything was kind of a great joy to figure out, okay, oh, this is how I get this stain out of this, or, you know, oh, I've, you know, kept all of my clothes clean within reason, right? Okay, this week I got everything folded and put away within a day. That was pretty cool, you know. And I know it sounds silly, but these are big achievements for me sometimes. And you know, when we start to feel like, you know, we're restless, we're stirring, we're wanting for something, this is for me when I turn to projects, you know. And that's the other thing. I think we all should be doing projects. You should always have some kind of thing you're learning, just for yourself, just for your own enrichment. Also, it's good for your mind, keeps you sharp. So continue to learn how to do things, a couple of things a week at least. And if it's just reading about it online, or if it's something practical, it does not matter, but you should be learning stuff. You know, and I hate to tell people what to do, but I really do believe that. Another thing I said the other day, and I do stand by this, on my Facebook, is that I really do believe everybody should be looking at art for 30 minutes a day. I know that seems ridiculous, but once you really get into the enjoyment of looking at all kinds of art, not just one, you know, Van Gogh or whatever, which Van Gogh's awesome, but, you know, just searching through, there's so many websites, so many platforms. I like Tumblr because there's all kinds of stuff on there. Or, you know, even Pinterest or whatever. But looking at art, I think it expands your mind, your consciousness. You experience reality through the eyes of somebody else, but it's also your own experience. And the more you get into the habit of experiencing art, I mean, there's just no limit to where your mind can go. I mean, it's beautiful, in my opinion. I love art, though. I'm a big art nerd. So, that's the other thing. There's my other little unsolicited advice, I guess. All right, let's see. So we have a heart. We have kind of, you know, I almost look at this, it reminds me of like going tide pooling. You put your hand and you bring up, and there's just these little fragments of shells and tiny pebbles. And I feel like it's like you can dip your hand into your life and you remember all of these little moments that put, you know, you string them together into something that is so beautiful. If we can rearrange the narrative of our life, at least the perception of the narrative of our life, we might find so much more beauty within our experience than you could ever imagine. And I think that that is truly the work of the magician, is rearranging how you perceive reality, your self-mythology, you know, just your journey through, okay? And if you are able to do that, then, you know, bless you, because you are a powerful being. And I think you are quite possible, or quite able, and there is definitely possibility there for you, Sagittarius. You have a strong will and a strong mind, strong capabilities. Okay, so we have the water blessings affirmation cards. Last week we did the indigo sage. This week we're doing the water ones. So I'm just gonna kind of take these up and I'm gonna split them in here somewhere where it feels right. Oh, I do like that one. Okay, and it says, healing grace. Let all tears fall into the river. Let the high tide carry you higher. Release all limits. Yeah. I feel like, you know, in some ways that's kind of the energy of withdrawing yourself. I don't necessarily see you crying too much, maybe a little bit. Maybe you're like me and you cry over anything and everything. I like to cry, and it really, I mean, well, I don't like to, yeah, I do. I think I do. I'm not adverse to crying. Sometimes I love crying. It feels really nice to get it all out. But I also feel like really embarrassed when I cry a lot, even though I'm a crier. Like, all the things I went through when I was a kid, you'd think, okay, I've cried in front of tons of people, like, throughout my whole life. I'd be used to it. But even now, I get, like, to, like, you know, like, my daughter will be like, oh, Mom, are you crying? I'm like, no. Yeah, I am. Over a commercial. So anyways, I think that, you know, this really more than anything is about purging stuff. But through that process of emotionality, you are building this beautiful, beautiful environment, landscape for you to live in, for you to thrive in, for you to be carried away into happiness through all of this release of old things, things that have no, you know, have no worth or service to you anymore. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and say thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. If you'd be so kind as to like the video, it helps us get into the algorithm. A couple other ways that you can help the channel are sharing the video on other platforms, watching the readings from the beginning to the end. If you have not subscribed, please think about doing that. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I read all of them and I reply back to all of them. So it might take me a day or two to get back to you, but I will, I promise. So I'm going to say thank you, thank you, thank you, and we will talk again very soon.